When you are learning something new or working through a tricky problem, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the complexity of the topic and the number of details that you have to keep in mind. In this video, I'm going to share with you some simple tools and a specific approach that can help you manage that complexity. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Verbal to Visual. I'm your host, Doug Neill, and I'm on a mission to bring visual thinking on par with reading and writing as a fundamental skill that can help you make sense of your world and thrive within it. And there might be no better entry point into the world of visual thinking than the humble index card and sticky note. Before we get into the use of these tools, let me tell you what I mean by that term visual thinking. Even though that term includes the word thinking, it's actually about getting ideas out of your head and onto some sort of external surface. It's about making marks, not just words, but also quick little sketches that tap into the visual processing powers of your brain on your way toward making models where you bring those ideas together into a cohesive drawing or diagram that organizes the set of ideas you're working with for the purpose of making sense, that cognitive spark of, oh, I see it and I get it now, and making meaning where you feel it too, which makes it more likely that you'll act on those ideas. So our goal as visual thinkers is to make marks that help us think through complicated topics. But where do those marks take place? Yes, you could use a notebook or poster paper. Those are useful tools. But there's something special about index cards and sticky notes that make them particularly useful. Let me share an example to show you what I mean. When I read The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, I started by simply underlining the passages that stood out to me, sometimes making little notes in the margins. I did that throughout the entire book, reading and underlining the phrases that particularly resonated with me. But I didn't stop there. I knew I needed to pull the ideas out of these pages and create something for myself, my own visual reference to these ideas. Otherwise, I'd be unlikely to remember them and incorporate them into my own creative work. And so I turned to sticky notes. Since each chapter within that book is pretty short, the size of a sticky note made for a great constraint to capture the core idea from that chapter with at least one small visual and a bit of text. I did that for each chapter and just stored these sticky notes chronologically on a piece of 9 by 12 paper, giving me my own condensed breakdown of the wisdom that Rubin shares throughout that book. But as you can probably tell, this is still a lot. Yes, I can focus in on any one of these ideas individually to remind myself of the core idea from that chapter, but I hadn't yet made a model. I made lots of helpful marks, but I was still interested in bringing those ideas together into something a little bit more cohesive. I did that by looking over all of those sticky notes and identifying a handful of themes. One being the stages of creative work, another being this concept of tuning in, and the third being time. Those three topics show up throughout the book. So I simply revisited each sticky note, pulled out the ones that were related to one of these three themes, and grouped them in that way. The next step was to go about making a small model for each of these themes, which is what you saw me sketch out if you've seen my video about this book. Here's another way of describing this process, what I call the Sketch It Out framework, which is a specific process that I teach within the Verbal to Visual curriculum. You can learn more about that at verbaltovisual.com, and it involves three main stages. First, defining your purpose. Why is it that you're engaging with these ideas in the first place? Then you collect the pieces. That's where these sticky notes and index cards come in handy. You pull out the relevant details, and then you bring those details together by solving the puzzle as you make some sort of a visual model. A model that lives somewhere along the spectrum from a diagram, like a flow chart or a timeline or a Venn diagram, to a drawing, like a scene or a visual metaphor. The thing about making models is it's hard to go straight there. It's hard to go straight from defining your purpose to making a model because you have to know what you're working with. You have to identify the building blocks of the topic you're working with. And to see why sticky notes and index cards make for great building blocks, let's revisit the book The Extended Mind by Annie Murphy Paul, a book that identifies the variety of ways in which you can think outside of the brain by using embodied cognition, situated cognition, and socially distributed cognition. For us here, the relevant techniques land in situated cognition, specifically Thinking with the space of ideas. Here, Paul talks about the benefits of getting ideas out of your head and onto some physical surface that you can interact with. To overcome the limitations of your working memory, there are only so many details that you can keep in mind at once. But when you give each of those ideas a physical location on a sticky note or an index card, you're able to extend your brain's processing power, map out how those ideas are connected, and navigate them physically as you move around the room, or as you reorganize those ideas on your desk. As Paul writes, true human genius lies in the way we are able to take facts and concepts out of our heads, using physical space to spread out that material, to structure it, and to see it anew. That's what you get to do with sticky notes and index cards. If each chunk that you're working with is fairly small, then this size of sticky note is a great way to go. But what if you want to work with a little bit more information at a time? If you want to have bigger chunks, bigger building blocks? In that case, let me reference The Idea Shapers by Brandy Agerbeck, which is a great resource for visual thinkers. And one of my favorite parts of this book is this right here, The Anatomy of a Card. Before reading this book, I'd used sticky notes plenty of times, and I'd used 3x5 index cards, but it's surprising how much a difference it makes to jump up from 3x5 to 4x6. This difference in size here almost allows you to treat each card as its own mini framework, where you can capture not just a singular idea, but a topic by giving that card a title, including some sketches, adding some details, using the corners for page number references, or other details you want to capture. I decided to apply this technique to the collect the pieces stage while I was reading the book Super Communicators by Charles Duhigg. Here's what those cards look like. As with the creative act, I started by simply reading and underlining, working my way through the whole book. But then when I came back to revisit those underlines, because there was a different layer of density per chapter compared to the creative act, I used these 4x6 index cards to identify the key topics and capture some of those details with sketches and words and page references. Details like interest-based bargaining, the steps of practical conversations, how to develop an emotional connection, perspective taking versus perspective getting, looping for understanding, battling over control, asking deep questions, what to do in a conflict. And similar to the sticky notes, each of these cards is useful on its own, but they become more powerful when you can bring these ideas together into a larger visual structure. You can check out the structure that I used by watching my video about this book, where you see two people having a chat over coffee, where I've used speech bubbles to explore the 3 types of conversations: practical, emotional, and social. And in many cases, the visuals that you'll see there came directly from these index cards. So the next time you're trying to wrap your head around a complex topic, maybe through a book that you're reading, or a problem that you're trying to solve at work, or even a presentation that you need to give to others, try using index cards or sticky notes as your building blocks to first capture the individual pieces, and then experiment with how those pieces fit together. I think you'll benefit both from the modularity of these tools, how you can move them around, and also the disposability of them. If you don't like how one index card or sticky note turns out, you can recycle it and then quickly grab another one. Each of these individual chunks is a much lighter lift than trying to capture all in one go everything about the topic you're working on. And while you will get some benefits by just adding words to these sticky notes and index cards, you'll be missing out on some of the visual processing power that you get when you add simple sketches and diagrams. And for more support weaving in those drawings and diagrams, using them as a deep thinking tool, check out the resources at verbaltovisual.com, where you will find a full curriculum to get you up and running with these skills, and weekly live events to troubleshoot any issues that are coming up, get feedback on your work, and get inspired by the visual thinking work from others around the globe. I'd love to see what books you're reading, what problems you're working to solve, and what ideas you are sharing with others. So I encourage you to come join us. You can follow the link in the description for more info. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck making use of this particular tool set, and I look forward to sharing more visual thinking tools and techniques with you next time. Till then.